Laurel Grove Cemetery, located on the west side of Savannah, is a look back into history with over 90 acres of stories told through the many lives laid to rest here. Our tour guide, Johnny Brown, shared stories from the cemetery that reflect on African American religion, education, civil rights, and business.
He was involved in NAACP, and after being affiliated with that organization, he was fired from the post office. And President Kennedy reinstated him. And we highlight the museums. On the tour, we have a Black History Tour, Freedom Trail that I run. He created that. He created the King Tizard Cottage, Beach Institute, Ralph Mark Gilbert Museum. So we just highlight a few of his contributions to his local history. Now, Mr. Law transitioned back in 2002. And in this will, he demanded to be put in this earth in 24 hours, no later than 72. Had taken 48 hours due to the fact his attorney was out of town. So once again, the field slaves, when they died in the fields, they were 2% of the houses at death were placed in the cemetery. And all you are going to see is just the first name. Now, they didn't have no last name, no family, no identity. Now, they weren't born to be a slave, they were made to be. And that is, they lost their identity. But for the most part, they're from the houses, 2%. So here we have Samson Brian, who was a deacon over at First Brian, the oldest known grave in the cemetery. And we do have his brother, Andrew Brian, who purchased the land of First Brian in 1793. And in his mausoleum, we have Andrew Cox-Marshall. His vision built First African Baptist Church, 1859 building, which became the first brick building in Georgia, built by blacks for our own use. He lived to be 100 years old, 50 years enslaved, the second a freedman. He baptized 3,776. He married some 2,000 and laid to rest 2,400 persons. And here we have James Sims, and also he sat to that table and agreed upon the terms of the 40 acres and a mule. He became the first Grand Master of the Masons in Georgia. And he had operated a secret school in Savannah. So secretive to this date, I don't know the location of it. And we had a very large free person of color population. I'm gonna show y'all the section where they're buried at. Now what we have as obituaries now, they had the headstones back then. And see, Sarah was owned by Corinne Louisa Hutchison. Now, they went on a trip during the summertime. They caught the steamer in Savannah. They stopped in Charleston. Now, the border blew off the coast of North Carolina. And it killed a lot of people, a number of persons, that is, and Sarah, she drowned at sea. And that happened 11th of June, 1858. Now, this headstone talks about how loyal and committed she was, how she never told a falsehood, and she was very trustworthy from the age of 11 years old. So therefore, we have one of the favorite headstones of Mr. Law in the cemetery, of Sarah.